Hello everyone, James here from JVC Paints. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have this German medium machine gun team for Bolt Action, as well as my send-off or ode to Bolt Action version 2 from Warlord Games, a game that I really like playing that's about to be retired for version 3. So that's coming later in the channel. There will be a timestamp below, so if you want to jump ahead to that or bail at that point, that's totally cool. The timestamp is there for you to do that. But first, let's talk a little bit about these figures. The figures is a 3-man crew. These are from the German Grenadier kit. This is the second infantry kit for Bolt Action that Warlord Games produced. The first being retired quite a while ago. I believe these are about 7 years old now. I painted them in field gray. The field gray that I did is a mix of black and honey mustard, and then I blend all the way up, give it a black wash, and then go back over it with the ultimate highlight I did before I did the black wash. These are Wehrmacht, so they have the split pattern camo, as well as you can see the insignia and the way the uniforms are done. I'm just going to turn this just a little bit so you can maybe make it out. Maybe on this guy's cap you can see it's got the little the black, white, and red meatball, I guess they would have under the Reichsadler. And on this guy here you can see on his collar he's got the Wehrmacht insignia as well. Other than that, I'm just going to turn this one guy here, the spotter guy. He's got the MP40. The equipment, I do this with a lot of my figures, particularly on my German ones, to make sure that the snaps and buckles and things like that pop. I've done them in white and things like that. And I've also done in this case on the shoulder straps of the Y strap there. I've done the little leathery parts that would be there that were in a different color from the black that they were issued in. The base is actually quite large. It's a bit of a vignette, I guess you could say. And this is my little send-off to version 2. So this is a beardy thing that I've done with version 2 over the years, is that I've always endeavored to make sure that my crews are able to be separated, and then that way I could minimize any kind of HE effect. So the template is actually quite big. I'm just going to turn it this way, and the two of them, as you can see here, are removable. So the guy with the MG42 there is actually stuck on the base. The base itself is I made the template. I'm just going to slide this forward here. A guy from our painting club, he went to Germany, came back, and he brought all of us a bit of a souvenir. He brought us some of this Coca-Cola. So I used this tin as the template for this that I cut out of plastic. I just traced it out and then cut it out. And I can attest that there's absolutely no speed at all or drugs in that chocolate. The road sign here, as well as some of the gas cans, I'm just going to tilt it up again here. They're from Tamiya. It's from Tamiya's 148 road sign kit, I believe, which I've had for quite a while. It's kind of handy if you want to do these kind of sort of themed little bases. I was hoping, as you can see on the sign here, I was kind of hoping to get this video out about a week ago, I guess you could say, but I got kind of sick. So, but yeah, a little bit of an ode to what happened about 80 years ago. In that part of France. So I'm going to take some snaps of these guys here, and I'm going to put up some other snaps of a lot of the other Bolt Action projects that I've done over the X amount of years that I've been doing YouTube, while I give you what I think about version 2, what was good, what was bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly of version 2, I guess. Yeah, just my 2 cents. So yeah, let's check it out.
Here we go with my look back at Bolt Action 2nd Edition. It's more of a retrospective, I guess. I'm going to pop up these photos, as you can see, of some from my older collection of things that I've done since I've been on here on YouTube. I loved Bolt Action version 2. It's one of my favorite games. I would put it up there in my own sort of pantheon of maybe like Warhammer 7th Ed, which I loved, and Rogue Trader, which was another game I really loved. But let's talk about Bolt Action. Let's keep it focused here. What I really liked about when it came out, 2nd Ed, was that the 1st edition books were still canon, and you didn't have to buy anything. So I went heavy into Bolt Action when it first came out, and I bought a lot of books, and I bought big 5 armies, and not having to buy or rebuy 20 books really helped me stay in the game. So that was good. I appreciated that. I also like that when they changed the rules that going on a down order became a -2 to hit. It was a good change, I thought. It made the game a bit more fun, I guess, and the sudden changing the odds from a 17% chance to hit down to pretty much a 3% chance to hit really added to the game. As a German player, the beefing up of the German machine gun rule too was a real bonus. Blasting 6 shots a few inches away from my target on my 40-point mobile MMG bike that had recce, yeah man, chef's kiss. That was perfect. I also liked Tiger Fear until it got nerfed. I didn't really get to experience it that much because I usually play very infantry heavy armies. But I did like the rule itself. I did like how they changed the shooting at the building rule too. I found that in version the first edition, getting guys out of a building was just such a chore, to be honest. And once you were in a building, that was it. It was just a war of attrition kind of thing. Multiple launchers, I loved them. They were either totally OP or they were just crap, and they just added that element of total chaos, which I really really liked. And I think that the changing the tough fighter rule was really well done. Good job on that, Alessio. Now, I've already talked a little bit about the HA weapons when I was showing the MMG team there, and I didn't really hate or love the template. I mean, I just sort of accepted it. Some people were really against it. I was totally on the fence about it. And sometimes I wonder if I would have liked to have known where the errant indirect motor shots went. If it would have added to the game or taken from the game to find out where these stray bombs went off. But I think the flow, it went well. But maybe it'll appear in third. Who knows, right? I do think that the figures that Warlord produced during the second ed were great. I'm still not a big fan of prone guys and slung LMGs, but they definitely increased the quality and the dynamic poses and things like that. Some of the things that I didn't really like about Bolt Action version 2, and these are in no particular order. Turret jam, totally useless, always forgotten. We'd be like 6 or 7 things away and like, oh, we didn't roll for it. I've read a lot of Stackpole military books, and turret jams did happen from time to time, of course, but not with the regularity that they were happening in Bolt Action. It would have been a 6 followed by a 6 kind of thing, I think. The confusion about charging through rough ground. So if there's the smallest amount of rubble in front of a house and you're 7 inches away, fuck you, pal. No, no dice. I was not a fan of that. The difficulty of finding a rule in the book when you were looking for it. The table of contents was absolute trash. The ever-evolving errata after tournament after tournament after tournament, the rules kept coming, changing and going back and forth. And the paratroopers, the ultramarine, super paratroopers of every nation, whether it was the U.S. Airborne, the British Airborne, the Fallschirmjäger, or whatever, they were so cheesy. They had every single special rule, and if the guy used them and showed up with tanks, absolute cheese. Do they really need all those special rules? Now, I'm not a highly competitive bolt action player compared to some of the guys I have played. I've played in 2 tournaments. I've ended up 1-1-1 in each, and always in the middle of the rankings. I do pull beardy shit from time to time. I am a gamer, that's what we do. But in the case if there was a rule that could have gone either way, yeah, just roll off. I'm not gonna just stand there and try and argue my case, over pints or whatever. Not necessary. As a casual player who spent most of my time painting, and I really enjoy the painting, the visual spectacle of the game itself. I really enjoyed playing the game whenever I got a chance to. Now, I did think some of the UK armies were a bit OP with the possible options of national characteristics and whatnot. I mean, some of the special rules of Sea Line were just such a stretch, to be honest. But it was fantasy, right? But I never really had the pleasure either of playing against a real spammy army. Now, I do think that the U.S. Army rules and the Soviet rules were probably the best balance for gameplay and historical accuracy. Now, if I really wanted to win a tournament, I would definitely take the Soviets. They were all about kicking ass, no doubt about it. I do love my German armies and playing them. So many options, too many, but that's accurate too. There's always that temptation to put all your eggs in one basket with the Germans. Now, apparently, there are some people out there who are in the gaming scene that have some kind of moral dilemma about playing the Germans in Bolt Action, a little game of army men and dice. Yeah, get over yourself, dude. It's history. Stick to Harry Potter and Pokemon. Heaven forbid you get into Ancients and read Livy and see what they were up to back in the olden days, where they would just massacre every single person there, except for like children under the age of 6 and drink blood and all that kind of crazy stuff. If history is too much for you, just please just stay away, okay? Now, I did think that the Japanese were pretty spot on too, except for maybe the emaciated bamboo farmers weighing like 90 pounds each that were so badass and unstoppable. But I do wish sometimes with the Japanese that the warlord had done more with the Kwangtung army in China, but it is what it is. Will I play third ed? Maybe someday, but right now I have a lot of real life happening, and things aren't as peachy keen as they were way back in the good old days of 2014. As most of my viewers are also middle-aged historical wargamers, I'm sure you're mostly responsible, hardworking, solid dudes, and those type of people have other people around them that depend on them. And let's face it, priorities are priorities. So money's tight these days, and I still have a lifetime's worth of figures to paint. So I think I'm going to take a wait and see approach with third ed. Um, Let me know what you thought of second ad in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around to the video this long. Thanks for listening to me, and thanks for tuning in. Take it easy, everyone, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, guys, everybody, keep those brushes moving. Take care, and bye-bye.